Live! Well, not really live. We're pre-recorded because of unavoidable reasons. But we're here in the Bunker Studio in Red Books, broadcasting across the world on Wexford New People's Movement Radio. As I said, we are pre-recorded, so hopefully you're listening to this at 7 p.m. on Tuesday. It's now 1 p.m. and you could be outside the door of the bunker listening in. Hopefully you're not. I'm Wally O'Neill, disgruntled bookseller. I'm joined, as always, by Dr. Steve Unicky. And we have a very special guest with us in studio, our roving reporter, Jamie T. Murphy. Jamie's not in the field today because he's ran afoul of the tax office.
I am really. I'm only back from the World Cup there.
You're only back?
Only back from the World Cup, yeah. I was talking to Don there, we had brunch, yeah. He had 44 eggs.
44 eggs.
20 slices of bacon.
Holy,
10 Diet Cokes and 4 chickens. I said, Don, you're some man for one man.
yeah.
Well, we're also joined in studio by the Director General of Wexford New People's Movement
DG.
Radio, Tony Bergen. So thanks, Tony. Tony was busy over the weekend with Relay for Life. We were also busy, Steve. We were down at the annual Ennistimon Booktown Festival, the town of books for Ireland West.
How did you like it, Wally?
Yeah, well, it's great. Like Ennistimon's a lovely little town. There's two fantastic permanent bookshops down there. The Salmon Bookshop, you may have heard of, who they publish a lot of poetry, and Banner Books, a great community bookstore as well. And there was other bookshops from around the country there. So we had guys from, obviously we were there. There was Cooney Books in Cork. There was bookshops from Kilkenny, Charlie Burns from Galway. So it's great, a great celebration of
Charlie
books.
Burns in Galway, they had Roald Dahl over a couple of years ago, didn't they? He was saying some of these books.
They may have, yeah.
I remember seeing something. There was a history thing came up on Instagram or something there. Now it was back when he was fairly old now at this stage.
Yeah.
But I was like, what a cool like.
Yeah.
Thinking, you could get Roald Dahl, but you can't because he's dead.
He's dead. Yeah. That might hold.
Yeah.
It's kind of one hand tied behind her back there, really. But so the Ennistimon Book Festival, another great thing. We have of course we have an East Ireland Book Festival as well, Ireland's Town of Books in Graignamanagh. So that'll be coming up on the 21st of August, that weekend.
All right.
Lovely.
And there may be some breaking news. It'll be broke here first, I'm sure, regarding the annual Wexford Book Fair. There may be some changes to the book fair this year, but we're not really ready to announce that yet.
Well, that's under embargo right now.
Yeah, that's under embargo. Yeah. So in other book news, or book-related news, our old friend Jeff Bezos, long-time friend of the show.
He's actually my uncle.
Your uncle?
Twice removed, yeah. I didn't want to say anything, Wally, because you hate
You look
him.
a bit like him, yeah. Well, Jeff's AI startup, Prometheus, which he was trying to hide for a long time, it's now managed to raise 12 billion in investment capital in the last couple of months. I think that's only in 6 weeks actually, since he admitted that he owned it. All the usual banks and stuff investing in it, and it's now valued at 41 billion, making it one of the largest private AI companies in the world. Still, Jeff says this company only exists to better mankind.
What a bunch of flim-flammery.
What do you guys think Prometheus is all about? Because he's been very kind of all over the place, very loose about what it actually stands for. He's saying it's about AI acting in the physical world to make things better for us, but he's not actually explaining what this is.
But like,
I don't see physical world manifestations of AI doing anything beneficial. Starting with massive data centers, creating problems, using up energy that households can't use, using up water that people can't drink. It's just dystopian to the maximum. Yeah.
Is Prometheus, I'm assuming, what's is it just an AI studio? Is he creating content?
I'd be very worried about it because Jeff Bezos, in a very short amount of time, has become one of the most powerful people on the planet, and he is everywhere. I mean, our local community in Kilmore Quay is currently having Amazon investment being put into it because Jeff is trying to basically get rid of the fishermen and lay pipes, not in the good way, off the coast.
Jesus, that's sickening.
Yeah. So, and the way he does it, like any benevolent dictator. He'll come in and give money to the local GA club and hope
Pass
no
them
one,
off and go,
hope
sure,
no
the
one
club need
takes
the
up.
money. Yeah.
But he's everywhere, and this is, I think, the next stage to his plan to making him the most powerful person on the planet.
Actually, speaking of AI slop, do you know the studio A24? They've done Obsession, Backgrounds, and Hereditary. They signed a contract last week with Google for 24 million
Yeah.
for AI. I'm like, you're the only studio active today in the film world that's making original content, which is really good. And they're giving young directors a chance. Like Backgrounds director Ken Pixels is 21.
Yeah.
His film has grossed 300 million in the last month.
Yeah.
And I think he's a wonderful human. He's intelligent, he's smart, he makes a great film. He made a horror film that's been actually scary. And it's all about, you know what the Backgrounds are?
Oh, I've seen it, yeah.
Like
yeah,
liminal
yeah.
spaces,
And I know all
right?
about the
But
lore
that was
and everything.
A24. They got him in, right? Gave him a budget and just left him to it. There was no studio interference. There was no money men coming down going, can we put this in? And he was just made it. And I'm like, it was the only company I'd faith in going forward in the future for making proper films. And now I'm like, AI slap, what is the point? Like,
well,
It's discouraging
yeah, it's
to
dreadful.
the maximum.
Is Jeff here today?
Jeff couldn't make it today.
Oh no!
He's only outside, is he?
Gone for
Is
coffee.
he down the Salties in Kilmore getting fish?
He was in this morning talking to Raymond.
Oh, was he?
Trying to help him put a trailer on the car.
Said he couldn't come in with the two lads here.
He'd be lynched.
Said you're all
He'd
right.
be skinned.
Yeah.
I don't care, Jeff. You know, yeah. Give me a couple million there, will you?
In other book news, you're all aware of the Books at One Foundation.
Yeah.
So Books at One have given funding again this year for community events to 23 bookshops that they classify as community bookshops or involved in the community. I'm delighted to say Red Books is one of those bookshops.
Hey.
So we've been given funding to initiate a new plan. So the plan is called Your Bookshop. We've noticed that the most successful events and groups that have taken part in the bookshop have been groups that kind of run solo. They come in with their idea and they just run. Whether it's Tony with the radio station,
Awesome.
whether it's the Driftwood sessions or the Anarchist Book Club, the AI group. They operate completely independently to the bookshop.
Yeah.
Get what?
Get it right.
I haven't got paid yet. You're getting it right.
What we're doing is
You'd be lucky.
we will welcome these groups in. We'll offer them a free meeting space, promotion over our 50,000 strong social media, and on our radio show, Steve.
Yeah.
Practical support and mentoring from Steve, basic equipment, a welcoming environment, and an audience that's ready to join in on community initiatives.
That's amazing money.
spectacular.
That'll kick off
great.
towards
Yeah.
the end of August.
Deadly.
Yeah.
So that's book news. Now this is a much shorter show tonight, because straight after this show at 8 p.m. here tonight, Tony has called all of Wexford New People's Movement Radio in for a talking down. No, he's called them in to talk about the overwhelming success of the station, that it's grown so fast and listenership is growing so fast that we have to put a lot more into just helping Tony and helping the station continue to grow successfully. So that's why the show is a little bit shorter today.
I think he should come in like Brian Clough.
He should come in like Brian Clough.
You see all them trophies?
all them people.
Yeah. Come here to me, son. See all them trophies, son? Throw them in the bin, because you won them by cheating, son. Throw them all in the bin. Rubbish. And just walk out. Just give us a bit of a gee up, like, yeah.
Well, before we go on to a song, I wanted to bring this up. Are you all familiar with BookTok?
BookTok,
BookTok.
as in TikTok, but for
TikTok.
books.
Yeah.
I'd imagine you have a few opinions on it, Wally, and I'd imagine they're not pleasant.
Well, let me go
I've
through
never
the
seen it
history.
now, so
let me go through the history.
For the benefit of
BookTok
the
again.
audience and myself, explain to us what BookTok
Yeah, what is it?
So BookTok started on TikTok with a simple hashtag BookTok, and it was mainly people who were really interested in books. Because TikTok is such short content, it wasn't really reviews of books at first. It was more people showing themselves unwrapping books or showing what they bought in a bookshop. People might start crying if they read a particular passage.
Frank McCourt.
Yeah.
Lies, Frank.
But then along came the lockdowns and everything changed completely because a lot more people started using TikTok to engage with other human beings, and BookTok started trending. And this was before influencer culture had really taken over on or TikTok. So it was mainly just very ordinary people who they were driven by enthusiasm and a love for books. BookTok brought a new energy to reading. It made reading and books and probably physical media itself more attractive and endearing to younger people. And actually, there's some very positives to it because we see an awful lot of young people who had been written off a few years ago as not reading books coming in and reading, and they're reading beyond BookTok as well, because I'll get into what BookTok actually is and what it promotes in a minute, but they're reading a lot of the classics, they're reading everything, and awesome. We see it with young people with physical media now. They're much more connected to physical media than our generation.
It's the thing I've noticed as well. Like it's good because you're buying like DVDs and Blu-rays. Because
records.
As you're probably aware, Shane mentioned it as well, and you're probably well aware of it. Like PlayStation not making any more games anymore. Yeah, that's insane. Like the thing about it is, I've always of the belief that if you own a piece of media, you're the author in a kind of way. Yeah. I mean, it's a kind of your thing. But I'm like, the joy of opening a DVD, or a game, I think it's insane. And it's good, people are kind of coming back in and going, well, I want to own something. Because if something goes off streaming or digital, you'll never see it.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's literally, absolutely. Netflix do it the whole time.
Yeah.
They're like, you see a film and go, I'll watch that. Give it a couple of weeks. You might have a night off or whatever. You might go, I want to watch a film. Gone. Or they're removed. You know what I mean? It's insane.
Yeah. And there's other dangers to that as well, isn't there? Because BlackRock are buying up the back catalogues, a huge amount of back catalogues of famous musicians. And at the moment, there's no monetary reason why they would do it. But BlackRock doesn't do anything without knowing that they're going to use financial gains. So I would personally believe that anything online that's being streamed at the moment, whether it's services like Spotify or Netflix or even Kindle, will get to the stage where every time you look at it, every time you listen to it, it'll be like blockchain. So you'll be charged every time you turn it on, rather than a subscription service as it is now.
Makes perfect
so that's
sense.
why physical media is so important. Now, BookTok has definitely been beneficial for physical media, but it's also been incredibly beneficial for independent authors. It allows them to find new audiences without that mainstream publishing machine behind it. Yeah. Certainly at the start anyway, that's how it was. So a lot of authors came to prominence that probably wouldn't have. I mean, Rebecca Yarros and Sarah J. Maas and people like that, even Alice Osman, they gained huge hits. And even writers that have been writing for a while, like Colleen Hoover, went viral because of BookTok, and they probably hadn't been promoted by the publishing industry for various reasons. Unfortunately, like everything, BookTok has been infiltrated by money. So what started off as a very grassroots thing with just people who were drawn by the love of the subject.
It's sort of attractive people.
It's been corrupted and polluted.
Well, it's now we have paid influencers, we have branding deals, and we have the likes of Jeff Bezos at Amazon being able to use the platform for his benefit. Shock horror.
I'm going to get a Bezos jar. And every time you mention him, you give a $5 to charity. He's getting a grueler. You leave my uncle alone.
But publishers are increasingly influenced by TikTok trends. But this also works the other way, and that's the insidious part of it, because BookTok trends are no longer being driven by the grassroots fully, but are being driven by the publishers and by Amazon. But BookTok has led to the rise of things that we wouldn't have thought were hugely commercial, like romantasy. So romantasy, are you familiar with romantasy?
I'm assuming it's romance and fantasy.
It's romance and fantasy jammed together, and a lot of it includes spice as well.
Steve, you'll be heavy into spice now.
You like the spice. Steve writes a bit of spice.
You were talking, I think a couple of weeks ago, about how there's actually a bookstore.
There is in I think it's Oxford now, and it's doing very well. It only opened last month. It's the UK's first romantasy bookstore.
But is that like a kind of a thing where they're like, like bubble tea was really massive last year, now it's gone on its arse, like fidget spinners, You know, like, is it just a fad? I mean, I said to you,
and it's all quite new because BookTok has only really hit this big thing since 22.
Why don't you
probably.
open a romantasy section?
We don't have many local romantasy writers, I have to
You'd
say,
be
yet,
surprised.
but we'll have to see.
Tony writes great romantasy books.
It's like we got to get back to a place that we used to be in, but we got to get to a new place. The whole thing just kind of gives me a knot in my stomach. Just think about it, because the forces that are arrayed against us ever being independent and intellectual and free to the extent that we could be, we're struggling with that, right? But we cannot lose the struggle.
Yeah. No,
How do you fight against it though? I mean, that's what he was saying. I mean, it's not a terrible thing, but I mean, like, it's like everything. It's going to have good and bad points.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Are you familiar with it at all, Steve? Or are you familiar with it at all? Or it's just like, it's like a general sense like me? You know what's about, but you've never seen it.
I have a general sense. It's like part of a whole general picture.
Well, you've definitely seen this, because the trends. There's another one is sports romance, which again.
Oh, that was like that hockey thing.
Yeah, heated rivalry. And you'll see.
Can you imagine a GA version of that?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, I'm surprised the GA hasn't come along yet with that. But one of the things the sports romance introduced was these new covers, which has been adopted by other genres now as well. And it's a kind of an animated.
Yeah, I've seen the covers of them books.
Yeah. It's a very strange one, like, because
it looks like children's illustrations. They're very weird.
Straight away when you see it, and I know booksellers who have had to tell parents that were buying these books for very young, maybe 12-year-olds and stuff, that these are actually not for 12-year-olds. Because again, with BookTok, there's a lot of crossover. So romantasy is obviously a crossover between romance and fantasy, and spice can get included. Sports romance, there's a lot of spice in a lot of those books.
Yeah.
But it's great because it's popularized reading, it's introduced new people to reading, and it's allowed genres that wouldn't have been pushed by mainstream publishing to bubble to the top. But like many grassroots initiatives, BookTok has been more or less bought out now by the big guns. Obviously there's people who hold out. There's a lot of book talkers themselves who have come out and said, this is completely infiltrated now, but we've been offered money, but we're not going to take it.
Cool.
But Amazon, going back to Jeff, Amazon now directs.
That's €15 now.
It directs a BookTok affiliate monetization program where BookTokers set up personalized storefronts where they curate lists of trending recommendations. So this is kind of a vicious circle where a BookToker will rise, Amazon will contact them and say, well, we can help you make money. You set up your own Amazon store, and you can sell the books you're talking about on that, and you'll make some money out of it. Okay. And then gradually Amazon will say, well, we think you should be promoting these books. These are the books we want to sell. And Amazon benefits, and worse, even steers the trends. So what started as a grassroots movement and allowed
no longer is.
Well, it allowed the rise of romantasy, sports romance, spice, stuff that the publishing industry didn't think were really wanted, but obviously the reading public wanted them to rise. Now Jeff is coming in and saying, no, I'm going to tell you what you want to read, which is what the problem has been with the mainstream publishing industry for the last, you could argue, 40 years, I'd say.
Oh yeah, and just like I said a minute ago, you have to keep pushing against this trend. Keep doing new things that confuse them. You know, it's like it is like a war almost, but sort of metaphorical war.
Absolutely. Now I think we're going to have a piece of music now, Tony. So this is Waves by Hale.